Hi guys, welcome to my very first video on Harry Potter fan fiction. So what I'm going to do today, I've got my fanfiction app from fanfiction.net opened up. I've created my own account just for this channel, so anything that I like, follow, and things would be in line with the channel. So I'm going to sort of build up our little portfolio together. I've got the app on my laptop there, so we are going to go through the app. So what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm just going to start off with some one shots, and I'm not going to go through things that I have read or liked myself before. So we're just going to sort of start off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit read stories. Harry Potter is at the top, of course, by a mile. The next most read fan fiction is Naruto. I'm not familiar with that myself personally, but I think I can guess what that is. I think it's an anime by a good 400,000 stories. Yeah, okay. Let's just go into Harry Potter. Now, what I'm going to do is sort of click on this. I'm going to sort of set some boundaries. So first of all, I'm going to select the language as English, simply because I don't think I can read the languages because I don't speak them. I'm going to change this to just ratings, so that way it shows all ratings. I'm going to put the length to less than 1,000 words because we are going to do really short one-shot sort of stories, short and sweet. I'm going to put the status as complete, so it doesn't show us stories that are just only the first chapters being sort of posted so far. World, I'll leave the world open. We'll leave the world open. I'm going to select the character as Harry, so I want to read stories about Harry. Only 25,000. I'm going to sort it by, should we say sort by favorites? Yeah, so I'm going to sort it by favorites. So the most favorited story at the top. So we're going to sort of start with stories that people have tended to like a lot. And then what I'm going to do is, after I've done a few stories at the top of that list, I might even do some stories at the end of that list, sort of compare good, bad fan fictions and things like that. Okay, we are going to search. Okay, so the very first story has 3,000 likes and 730 followers, which is good, promising. Okay, the story is called Oops. Oops. As I clicked it. It's called Oops, and it's by Silverwolf 7007. Lovely little sort of anime picture there. Now the summary. Okay, so when Harry says oops, things tend to explode, but not this time. No, this time, wow, something else happened. Very intriguing. Okay, so this is rated K. It's in English. It's humor. Okay, do you like a better humor? Posted back in 2006. It's Harry Potter and Severus. It's Harry and Severus, so Snape. Um, okay, very intrigued. Do you like a good sort of Harry Severus sort of relationship dynamic in the story as well? Let's go and read the story. So, chapter 1. Well, it's only one chapter. Oops by Silverwolf 777. Okay. Oops. The 6-year Gryffindor slash Slytherin portions student froze. Severus Snape had once thought that the worst thing that had ever happened to his classroom was Neville Longbottom. This had been true up until the beginning of the boys' 6th year. Somehow, over the summer, Harry Potter had come to the conclusion that experimenting with potions in class was a good idea. Okay, so far I like it. It's got sort of a light touch to it. It's meant to be a short one-shot story, and thankfully, with those kind of stories in a fan fiction world, you don't have to really give sort of a background to characters per se, because we're all already familiar with characters, and so far it seems to be in line. So far we've seen from Severus's point of view, and he seems to be somewhat in character. You know, that thing about Neville. Experimenting potions costs a good idea. Okay, intriguing. I would like to read further. Severus had let the boy do it, simply because after the first lesson he had been amazed at the more efficient version of the burn healing salve that Harry had invented. Okay, right. Okay, so Harry's experiment is actually going well. However, Severus's leniency had its downsides. Like any potions researcher, Harry made mistakes. Only problem with that was that it was Harry making the mistakes, and Harry does nothing by halves. Okay, I kind of want to know what sort of accidents has happened in potions because of Harry's like sort of experimentations now. Um, Severus turned his eyes slowly to Harry, who was looking somewhat sheepish. This was, Severus thought, a better sign than if he was staring at the cauldron in horror. "What did you do?" he asked the boy in resignation. That's my attempt at Snape talk. The rest of the class watched and listened apprehensively. Harry shrugged. "I don't know. I was about to add the lion's mane and it started smoking." Severus blinked. "It's not smoking now." "I put the lion's mane in." Harry looked down and eyed the potion warily. It was making blue. It was smoking blue and bubbling, and I wasn't going to put it in, but I dropped it. And now, well, sighing, Severus strode over to look into the courtroom, glancing over his class as he moved. Crabbe and Goyle was sitting in the very back of the room, attempting to become one with the wall. It wasn't working. Duh, it's those two. Um, Lavender, Parvati, Pansy, and Millicent had gathered in a corner and were slowly shifting unobtrusively towards the door. Okay, I gotta read it like this. Unobtrusively towards the door. He didn't really blame them. He would leave himself if he weren't the teacher. Neville, Seamus, and Dean were just watching, half amused and half worried. Ron, resigned to the fact that his best friend was a moron, was methodically thumping his head against the top of his desk. Hermione was torn between stopping him and frowning at Harry in disapproval. She'd been on his case all year about the experimentation, Severus knew. The last three class members, Draco, Theodore, and Blaise, were twitching. Draco and Blaise were twitching towards the door, desperately wanting to escape before Harry said, "Oops," again. And something did blow up. Theodore, on the other hand, could see into Harry's cauldron and was twitching from Holden in his laughter. Severus got a very bad feeling about that. Okay, I want to know. Okay, what's happened in the potion? I want to know what's going on. Then he reached the cauldron, looked down, and decided that it had not been an unfounded fear. Okay, Severus stared at the tiny purple kitten sitting in the cauldron as it blinked up at him innocently with large green eyes. "Oh dear Lord, you've created life." Again, the students froze, this time in shock and confusion rather than in fear. That is, aside from Theodore, who had fallen from stool in laughter. It has your eyes, Harry. he managed to choke out. Severus just sighed as the students gathered around Harry's cauldron. He should have known it was going to be one of those days. I enjoyed it. Oh my god, that was hilarious. I can see why it was at the top of the um favorited list of stories. Let's have a little read of the author's notes. Quote Harry, oops. This, my dears, is what is known as an accidental fanfic. I had absolutely no intention of writing a new one shot this morning. It just happened. Eh, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. As Wolf. I like that, guys. It was a good one shot for sure. Definitely, definitely does deserve its spot at the top of favorited stories. It was cute. It was well written. It was yeah, it was good. It was well written. It was uh, characters were great. I like the fact that we kind of touched on each members of the class, and their sort of reactions to what was going on. It seemed very in character to what uh, comedic sort of a little fan fiction, one shot fan fiction would be. I like the fact that Harry's just experimenting. He's just like, I'm just gonna experiment because I'm Harry. I'm just gonna do that. Um, I liked Hermione's reaction. I liked his reaction. It was a very wholesome, well-written story. It read well. The breaks in the story, yeah. So you sometimes come across fan fiction where it's just a dense of like the entire thing is one paragraph. Like it's very hard to read that. Breaks, grammatical breaks between your paragraphs and sentences, punctuation. It's very important. It's more important than the right spelling or anything like that to make a story read well. And they certainly help that in spades. Yeah, definitely thumbs up. So I think I am going to like the story. We're going to give it another favorite story. Um, Obviously, I'm going to put the link of this little fan fiction piece that I've opened up in the channel. So if you wanted to go in and see all the stories that I've liked and followed and authors and such, um, so you will have them all access to. Let's sort of click on the author's name. Wolf is indeed not dead. Wolf is posting the epilogue for Dear Order, and soon after the beginning of the sequel, I'm Red Chaos. There will also be a tiny little prequel. I'm guessing these are sort of fan fictions that this person's been writing. Let's go on to their stories they've written. Clearly not complete. Conversations in which Ramus is not going to steal Jameson's wife. A few conversations between the Marauders and Lily over the years. Sort of prequel to Unmitigated Chaos. Very intriguing. It's not surprised that Harry spent in their 6-year befriending Slytherins, releasing dangerous beats in the dungeons, inciting House of Rebellions, and generally causing trouble. This is Harry after all. Sequel to Dear Order. Okay. Dear I'm still alive, as you may summarize from this note. Of course, I could be dead and someone is taking a letter to fool you. Harry is not happy about being left at Privet Drive all summer with no one to talk to. Okay. Dear I guess that's Harry wrote. I think I'm going to favorite and follow this author. It's definitely what I'm going to be coming back to this author and going through some of these stories because they do sound kind of good. And having read that one shot, I clearly know that these authors, good at writing. So we are going to like and follow favorite user, and for now I'm going to favorite, not follow. Um, yeah, we're gonna favorite, not follow, because it looks like the last time this person's posted anything was in 2017, which is a long time ago. Uh, so it doesn't look like that they'll be coming back to finish off any of these stories anytime soon, which is understandable. Means we won't be reading any of the uncompleted stories, but hey ho, it is what it is. Okay, guys. Wow. Thank you for you know watching my videos. Please leave comments. I hope you read and you watched and enjoyed my reading, reacting, and reviewing my first Harry Potter fan fiction little video. I'll be doing some more of these little ones on that page that we were on. So sort of be looking at uh, videos. We'll probably be looking at the next stories on my next video. So until then, keep on reading, keep on reacting, and keep on reviewing. That was a terrible follow. It was a terrible sign off. I think of better ones next time. Until then, see you guys. Bye.